A bright red word was written on the back of a box. Towards. Okay, so what does that symbolize as? Hello everyone, my name is FlareBlitzed here, and we've returned back to this enigmatic puzzle within Nightmare of Melanie. Towards. What are you trying to tell me, game here? Well, a couple of people have delved around on the internet on either Chinese or Japanese Let's Plays of this game and have managed to come up with the answer to this puzzle, but not how they got to the solving of this puzzle. I will open it and literally don't ask me how it got to this equation, but this is the case. Got the latrine key, and that is all good and fun. Remove obsidian. Yes, please, I will do that. Obsidian. We will require that again. But literally, the box literally says horizontal, 3, top, back. One of the people in particular pointed out that, well, they also understand Chinese. Hi there! Thank you for swinging by. The wall turned black. Okay, I understand that. One of the people in the community remained anonymous, by the way, is that they understand Chinese to an extent, and they said that this game has a lot of translation errors. So when it comes to puzzles and stuff like that, it's going to be so enigmatic that we may have to have so many small episodes of this game, or determines how many episodes there are going to be of this game, because of the puzzles that lay within the game are not understandable even when they're in English. So it's kind of like they're there, but at the same time they aren't translated to us in a way in which we can understand. So if any of you watching thinking that these puzzles are simple, easy, and okay to understand, and why are you complaining about this flare, then well, all the power to you. But unfortunately for myself, I look at things from the surface and not for some very, very elaborated, decrypted, whatever you want to call these things in life. But I don't know, and unfortunately I don't have the answer to that particular puzzle. All I know is that people know the answer, but how they got to the answer, we don't know. Stored a large number of washing supplies. Huge number of washing supplies. Washing supplies. I just want to read all of them. My elder sister had been keeping herself in the room recently. What a mysterious appearance. Every time I meet her, I can always smell a strange smell. Okay, there's a bit of blood there. It's either if Ling is the most strongest-willed person in the world, so that it doesn't matter how grotesque the landscape is, she is not deterred by it in any lengths of measure, or it's just a fact that the developers forgot to put text and emotions in for this character, which is probably given. But obviously it doesn't matter if it's put in or not. A deformed cardboard box seems to have been severely beaten, and there are footsteps in blood. Greetings, a very fuzzy mirror. Something tells me that this mirror isn't going to be friendly to us at some point. Feels like there's going to be something that comes out of it and gives us a really bad time. An ordinary washing machine. This bathroom is blooded up to the eyeballs. Mum? So that's Ling speaking, isn't it? Excuse me, what Ling's thinking. Not speaking, thinking. The water valve is heavily mixed with blood and human hair. Yikes. I don't want to know what happened here. There's a lot of blood on the toilet lid. There's a lot of blood on the wall. Vast amount of blood, actually. There was a lot of blood in the power box. Unknown liquid floats in the bathtub. Oh yeah, let's just... What is this? Smell it. An unpleasant smell. Unknown liquid floats in the bathtub. Observe it. There is nothing special except the turbid wet liquid in the bathtub. And finally, which is probably the most stupidest idea of them all, explore by hand. Can't find anything. Nothing was touched. Then why were we given these options if there's nothing to do? Unless we need to interact with something again, like these boots, this washing machine. I wish the text would go faster. It would make this endeavour less painful. Not only is a text though, but the translation is not on point. A large amount of blood was accumulated in the sink. Yes, we understand that. We already know about the large amount of blood on the sink being something along the lines. Right, so basically, we opened up a really cryptic box which has a key to a room which gives us nothing. Great! Don't smell it again. I like the idea. Don't smell it again. Observe it. So there's nothing special except the turbid red liquid in the bathtub. And we've already explored by hand, but let's go again. Same sounds. Nothing was touched. Thanks for giving us nothing, game. We really appreciate your services. Let's continue with our journey to see if there's anything else within the building that's new. Aside this hanging individual. Looking good there. I hope you are... Oh gosh, I wish I could make a joke right about now, but I'm not going to. So I'll just keep it hanging in the air for you guys to figure it out. Eerie jokes from DDLC. Except they're not jokes at all. Oh, the obsidian, I just remembered actually. We can use the obsidian on this window. Or maybe not. The curtains were drawn by themselves. So can we use the obsidian and... Oh, could we use the obsidian on the cardboard box? No. What about from this side? Nope, not that either. Ugh. But the answer is, like, right there in front of me. It's just I'm not interacting with the game properly. Nope. Nope. So this obsidian has a purpose. But what kind of purpose does it have? The edges are sharp, yes, so it can only really cut something open. Or stab something. Oh, the life of me. The life of Ling. What the hell has caused this family to do all this to themselves, honestly? And whose guts is spilled on the floor there? Let's move on with our lives. What's the next cryptic puzzle? Because that's not the only one. I've been told there are many of these abominations. Holding something hard in hand. So it took 4 tries to get something out of this pool. Now that is repetitively annoying and repetitively confusing if you've explored something and essentially there's nothing there to begin with. So why would a key just appear within a bathtub filled with blood on your 4th try of investigating it? It's like it's absurd with the way that these puzzles have been brought into light. Porcelain key. So what can I do with this key aside open up yet another potential doorway to hell? Sorry for all this moaning, guys. I'm not usually like this, but the puzzle mechanics in this game with the translation of the game itself doesn't bode well. And it's not going to get any better as it is worse, unfortunately. Open the door, absolutely. We have used the porcelain key. So this must be the dining room. There is a lifelike fake flower in the flower pot. I didn't put my finger down for that long. And we can go on the vase. Some vegetable and fruits. Vegetables. Some vegetables and fruit. I understand that. Can we grab a knife? Lavatory counter. There seems to be no water. Chopping board. There is a sharp knife nearby. We will take it. Absolutely. That is a great idea to carry around a kitchen knife for what we call self-defense. Obviously, we're not going to stab anyone. We're going to use it for self-defense so that if anyone dares try and attack us, we can tell the officers that they tried to attack us first. We only used the knife as a last resort. They held us pinned down. They grabbed us by the throats. They were pinning us to the floor. We couldn't do anything. But the only thing that sprung to our mind is the kitchen knife that we grabbed and put in our pocket. That was the only way in which I am still standing as the same person, and how that insane maniac who broke in isn't alive anymore. And quite possibly killing another person in the process. Why did I make up that story for anyways? And by the way, that hasn't happened to me yet at all. A cooking range for cooking. The dishes were neatly placed. It's just a story I conjured up, really. Nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. The dishes were neatly placed. Ordinary microwave oven. And this huge refrigerator. There are 2 people that tall. I can't open it. Hold on. Huge refrigerator. There are 2 people. Yes, I understand that. But we need a chair in order to get up to the top part of the refrigerator. I think what the game is trying to tell us that we're too short to reach the top door of the refrigerator, or that the refrigerator itself is too tall so that we can't reach the top door of the refrigerator. 3 bottles of red wine stood upright on the table. Yes. If there's one thing that actually flinches me, it's glass breaking. I don't know why, but glass breaking is more terrifying to me than any other kind of like sudden sounds that occur. It just startles me. Delicate and small kitchen knife, very sharp. What can we use it on? Can we use it on the ivy? We cannot use it on the ivy. Okay, cabinet full of all kinds of daily necessities. I have not need to use them at present. Like what? So this is the dining room / kitchen. Can we use the kitchen knife to be like an extended hand? My words all over the place today. I've recorded 2 other videos today. I'm trying to get back to a routine of doing 3 videos a day, but it's gonna be quite tiring. But I want to do it. I want to improve myself. improve my own individuality as a person, as a being. Not saying my current self is bad, it's just that I used to do like 2 videos per day constantly. And that was back when I was in university as well, like a time where I shouldn't be making any videos, because I should be 100% of the time concentrating on work. But I did find time to do my university work and YouTube. Okay, that was unexpected. Okay, so as the figure came from here, then our next clue should be in here, right? A deformed cardboard box. God, what can we use this kitchen knife on? Unknown liquid floats in the bathtub. Nothing more for that. There's a lot of blood in the power box. I keep thinking that objects need to be used for the most illogical things, but just put 2 and 2 together and think that it's actually a bit simpler than when you make it out to be. You always think of something to be a really, really cryptic puzzle, but then in the end it's actually much simpler and you're overthinking things. But I like to think that one day I might be overly thinking things, and then without overthinking I'm able to get something right. And that's, I think, the problem with developers, is that, is that their own perception of their own games is that their puzzles and the way it works is completely understandable because they made the game. They know exactly what's put within a game, so therefore they know every single clue and every single puzzle piece that is within the game in order to actually solve the puzzles which coexist within that game. And that is why I would say that for every developer out there, it is a necessity, an absolute necessity, to have beta testers, to be able to test the game out before the game is publicly released. And unfortunately, I doubt that there were any English beta testers for this game before it was released. I believe a person who translated this from Chinese to English just simply did what they did and then put the game out as a version to play on Steam. Like, the only way you can play this game is on Steam. But it's hard, but at the same time it's challenging as well. Challenging to extent that it... Wait, hold on, is that... But there's more to the story. By seeing Ling, that child, is curious about everything, what I can do is to cheat her, let her keep the secret. I didn't know that these diary pages you can press down and scroll through to read more of what it's trying to tell you. Was it this one? I know this kitchen knife is very sharp, but it's not. Kitchen knives aren't designed to go through like rope or something like that. Today I found another nice young lady. Her skin is tender and... Oh, bloody hell. I can't read the rest of that. Ling saw Shun and I, which really makes me angry. I told her not to get up and wander around at night. I gave her some candy to keep her mouth shut. That woman drinks all day long. I am annoying. She doesn't even do housework. Do you mean I am annoyed? I'm not satisfied with funding so many. That woman wouldn't care anyway. Would she? I don't know, but all I can tell is that you should stop hanging around. It really suspends me, it really does. Ugh. A large amount of blood was accumulated in the sink. Oh dearie me, what's our next exciting endeavour in this nightmare? Heavily mixed. I do believe though that this game might end up having a similar tale like Mad Father, except the curse being... But I'm saying Mad Father because I think it will end up having the same parent-child relationship sort of thing where the father or the mother secretly hates and secretly loves the child in question, so therefore it's this very, very on the fence mixed relationship sort of thing. Hopefully that coerce as well, but with me sometimes this is an on-the-spot scenario, and unless I have a proper idea of knowing what I'm going to talk about, it's just a splutter of words. Mum and Dad quarrelled again. Mum's face is terrible. Mum said I shouldn't be in this world. Okay, so we know that from Mad Father that oh gosh, mother's name, Monica Drevis loves Aya Drevis. So that throws that concept out the window. But the whole like family separation thing that goes throughout the game, that has some symbolism, well, similarities. Dad brought back another aunt to be a guest at home. Dad's hand is... Okay, I'm not reading that out loud. Auntie always makes... Okay, I'm not reading that out loud as well. At that time, my mother's eyes were really horrible. She's angry. It could end up... Okay, chopping board which has marks of being cut by a knife. It could also be a case where the mother still loves the father despite the father doing these terrible things, because the mother might be suffering from Stockholm Syndrome. But of course that's just up in the air, but we haven't even known what the mother's name is. But the only person, or the only two people in the game that we know is Ling and Melanie. Melanie could be the mother, and the mother is put us, well, the mother put us into this nightmare. Still, that's another assumption. This, that's the same. So we just left with a few bits of story, and these notes are the only thing that tells us the story of this game, wrapped in a lot of ivy. So apologies for all the nonsensical things I've said in this video so far. Today my father and a strange aunt were playing games on the... No, that's not strange games. That is something that you should... No, I'm not reading that out loud. You can mock me all you want in the comments. I am not reading most of this out loud. It's strange Dad gave me candy. Told me to keep this secret. Especially my... Yeah, why wouldn't your father say to keep this secret from your mother? This is one difficult family. Notes all around the place, for goodness sakes. Seems that Ling is the only sane one around here. So what's gonna be next? Something that happened to her sister? Because she has at least one sibling. Minute clock. That. Our minds go elsewhere in this scenario. Anything new about this diary in here? Or is this going to be exactly the same? Come on, piano, stop playing against me. No, that's the same. That's exactly the same. So yeah, back to beta testing. You absolutely need a beta tester. At least, I would say, probably about 3 to 4 beta testers to get a solid idea. Because if all 4 of them say that the game is understandable, the puzzles are fine, the hints to the puzzles are fine, the translation is fine, etc, 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 the game doesn't crash, the everything works how it should work, then you're going to get a solid idea that you've done a good job. Obviously there will always be minor alterations like spelling, grammar and stuff like that. But we have ourselves this adventure which is coated in blood and washed up with a family with difficulties. With Ling possibly being the only sane one, or it could be flipped on its head where Ling is the cause of all these animosities. We've already read that. But what's going to be next in our adventures here? A deformed cardboard box. We get that. There was more text to this box, wasn't there? What do we do next? We've interacted with most things, but seems like we're clutching on straws at this point in time. Human fingerprints. 2 striking blood fingerprints, filled with despair. I think the blood gives it away that it was despair. Water valve, yep. There's a little light up there. There was a lot of blood in the power box. So what do we use this kitchen knife on? It's going to be another one of those episodes where a lot of time is wasted and very little progress has been made. Because this game doesn't exactly translate to the player on what they should be doing. The worst game by far, and this game is nowhere near compared to the game I'm going to mention of, I think, the most illogical setup on what a game should be, is a game based in a 10-story hotel where you literally have to search every single room in the game without any in-game hints or help as to what you're supposed to do in order to know what you need to do next. And that game is Elevator Rituals. Now, some of you watching this may also remember me playing that game, and you know how diabolically angry I was with that game, because it doesn't make any sense. The story wasn't exactly fruitful. Like, the boss wasn't rewarding, and it was incredibly frustrating as well. But always have beta testers. Always have beta testers for your game. And I don't think finding beta testers would be that particularly hard as well. Sundries. What do we use this kitchen knife on? I'm struggling to even get a sense of maybe I should use a kitchen knife on this or on that. But at the moment it looks like no. Looking at this side. A plaster cast of a man. So we've got an obsidian and a sharp object. So essentially we've got 2 sharp things. We've got an obsidian and a kitchen knife. Some textbooks were scattered on the ground. Book of Nightlight. It's going to take a lot of investigating to find what we need to do next. What? Use a kitchen knife on these boots, whatever they look like. This is the answer then. So what do we get? Something was found in the blood clot. Blood red key. Wait, that's not a pair of boots? That's something else? I don't even know what that is. If that's not a pair of boots, then what could that be? Like, it's coated in blood. You know what I'm talking about, right? This scene here. This little thing here. What is that thing? What is it doing there anyways? I'm looking at my recording screen because obviously my recording screen is larger than the actual window screen that I'm playing on. But what the heck is that? So we've got ourselves a nice key. It's not Mom and Dad's fault. Neither sister. It's all my fault. I shouldn't have come into this world. Shouldn't. Self-doubt will not end this pain, unfortunately, Ling. If you blame yourself for this, then the only person... Okay, just the game crashes. As I was trying to say, the game just crashed. Thank you. We'll be right back. I'm pretty sure it's just an RPG Maker thing, but if it's a game, then unfortunately there's going to be another Steam posting. Oh, for goodness sakes, why? After you grab the red key, the game just crashes as soon as you either try to save or press the menu. What is going on? Every time you open up the game, an error screen pops up. You can still play the game, but there's like a little error that pops up. And I don't know what it says because it's in Chinese. Maybe this has something to do with it. Blast these endeavors. If this is going to be the case, and unfortunately this may be the last. I hope you guys... don't know if you guys can see this, but it's... I'm dragging a... actually, I'll just put a... I don't know how to deal with this. I can't even copy and paste the text. Oh, gosh. I'll do a print screen and just put it on like a social media or something like that. But yikes, this is annoying. So we got the blood red key, and I will try this out for a third time. Is going into the menu with the blood red key going to crash the game? No. So what crashes the game? Because I can observe the blood red key on here. So it has to do with an event that transpires after leaving this room. Okay, so let's try it again. So what causes the game to crash then? If it's not the key, and if it's not a particular room, then what is it? Oh, not in this room though. If it's none of those, then what could it be? Thank you! You've let me save the game, but that is still an issue to deal with. A gargantuous issue to deal with. It may... okay, so let's look at this again. This was... we started around 1 hour 20, 1 hour 30, and now we're 1 hour 50. To you guys, this video might be less than half an hour, but for me, it's taken much longer to get to this stage, like considerably longer. Ugh, goodness sakes. I'm trying to make the best out of this situation as I can, but unfortunately, I am everywhere and nowhere at the same time. And why do we use this key? Do we use the key on you? No, we don't use the key on you. Thank goodness. But that is a crash that needs to be dealt with, developers. If you're watching this. I know. Usually smaller developers are more likely, well, not smaller, but less known developers are more likely to watch a video made by a YouTuber, because it helps get the game out in another way with like with what you call popular projects and stuff like that. They are less reliant on Let's Players to help promote the game because they've already got a fan base to share their games with, to help spread the word out and stuff like that. They don't need external help. Like, they're perfectly good on their own. But then again, in other ways though, a big project team may also love Let's Players because of their interest in the game and the idea that a person is playing a game but also showing their experience of the game itself while they are playing the game and commenting over it. So, okay, so maybe this key needs to be washed first. But of course there's no sink. There's no water. I think we need to wash the key first before we can use it. Because a blood red key. Maybe the key itself is just blood red and it's not soaked in blood. That could be the thing. But of course there's this as well. No. Yeah, because there's gasoline here, not water. The pool is filled with a lot of black gasoline. Yeah, so that wouldn't help at all. But my god, those crashes need to be fixed. It could just be an individual thing. It could just be my RTP, for example, which is called real-time package, which is an essential thing to install for most RPG Maker games that you play. Some games don't require it because everything that requires the game to run is within the package that you download of the game. Like when it says that this game does not require RTP, usually it saves a lot less. Well, actually, it removes a lot of the data from the folder in which you download, the zip file or the RAR file, because most of that is the RTP included. Now, is it after this event? That needed to be inspected first, I believe. Yeah. Maybe that head need to be inspected first before we can advance through the game. Oh yeah, of course we can't go through there. This is, you only have a door. Maybe it only works on one tile. No. So what could this key be used for then? If anything. Unless it's for a thing in this room. Sometimes it's quite difficult making videos at times. Not because it's a bad thing to do. I love every video that I've made. Like, even if you, on a, let's say, on an analytical scale, you don't progress as much within a video as you do from another video that you've made in the past. Every video that I've made is joyful one to make. Even the games which I despise, like elevator rituals or Forest of Animals, or any game that has no sense at all, I still enjoy making the videos because, well, there's going to be people out there who are going to enjoy it, and when they enjoy the video, that means that I've done something good for that day because I've given at least one other person in the world some happiness. And that goes across all of my videos, and that goes across all my series regardless of how old they are. Like, you can find my very first Let's Play of me, Sal, and see, like, the progression that I've made throughout the years. Like, oh gosh, I think I talk a lot more than when I first started. I was like a hermit when I started, and I didn't even know anything about, let's say, how to record a video properly back then. I was just like, well, let's go with this software, let's go with this thing, and let's just see what we can do with these sort of things. And also, like, making a thumbnail, for example, that was also a bit of a challenge in itself. But I mean, there have been some styles which I've adopted over the years into my thumbnails, like making drop shadows over like logos and stuff like that, and buttons, no, not buttons, numbers, that it gives it a little bit more emphasis rather than just a number on the page itself. Like, and I used to include hashtags in my thumbnail as well, like #1 or #2 when it comes to like the actual part of the series itself. But I don't know, I think I prefer just the number rather than the hashtag and the number. So I don't know what that was in my throat there. But each to their own. If you like the hashtag, then you like the hashtag, and that is perfectly okay because it's each person's perception. I think perception is very, very important. It allows, also it's one's own individuality. A perception is, and it's good that everyone is different because each person's perception then is different, and each person's perception is in some ways different. Like, we will all have things in common, which I would like to call common sense, which most people have, like respecting one another, caring for one another, seeing that somebody is not 100% and you go over to them and ask them if they're feeling alright. And small things like that really do add up, and small things like that are really beneficial to some people, because some people might be having the most miserable day of their life, and you coming up to them and saying like, how are you, or just a gentle hello, can really make a difference. 3 bottles of red wine stood up right on the table. I've already read that. So, this isn't just like someone playing a game, but it's also expressing one's own points and views in life. Right, okay, I think I am mentally drained enough to call it a day. We've done a little bit of progression, not too much. And we discovered 2 game-breaking crashes, which I believe has to do with something with either the head of that woman who is possibly the mother of Ling, or it could have something to do with the blood red key. Which one that is, I do not know, but thank you so... Wait, which one did I save over? Okay, cool. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and if you have any suggestions of what I can do with either the obsidian, the kitchen knife, or the blood red key, because we've tried it on the only other door in the game which is locked, but we can't open it, but maybe it can be used on the ivy covered door, which we still haven't found a way to be able to remove the ivy so we can get through that. I believe that door will allow us to progress to the next section of the game, but that's just my theory. But thank you so much for watching, and we shall see each other in the next time of Nightmare of Melanie. Melanie, M-E-L-A-N-I-E. Why am I saying that? It's within the freaking title of the game. Thank you so much for watching, and take care of yourselves.